My dear friends, a new day has begun, a day that may be busy, filled with worries and responsibilities. But before we step into the rush of life, let us take a sacred moment to pray together. Today, we lift our hearts to God and ask for peace. We ask for the grace to trust Him, whether the road ahead is smooth or difficult. Let us begin. You've just opened your eyes, and even before your feet touch the floor, there's already a weight pressing gently on your chest, not pain, not panic, just a quiet heaviness you've learned to live with. Maybe it's the long list of things waiting for you. Maybe it's the tiredness that sleep didn't fully fix. Maybe it's that question that lingers every morning. Can I really do this again? If so, I want you to know, you're not alone in that feeling. Today, before the world takes hold of your attention, I want to offer you something different. Not advice, not rules, not pressure to be better. I want to help you find peace, not just a peaceful feeling, but the peace of God that Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 speaks of. The kind that doesn't always make sense. The kind that stands guard over your thoughts when they get too loud. This morning is not about trying harder. It's not about silencing every anxious thought. It's about opening a quiet space in your soul where God can meet you exactly as you are. You don't need to be calm to come to Him. You don't need to be ready. You only need to be honest. And maybe right now, your honest prayer sounds like this: Lord, my mind is loud, my heart is restless, I want your peace, but I don't know how to find it. That's a holy beginning. That's enough, because the peace of God is not something you achieve, it's something you receive. You don't chase it, you let it come to you. And it starts here, right now. Take a moment to picture God not as far off, not as a distant figure waiting for you to calm down, but as the one who sees the storm in your chest and draws near, not to fix you, but to be with you. He doesn't rush in with commands. He comes with presence. He whispers, I know, I see, I'm here. That's what divine peace looks like. Not escape, not denial, but knowing that even in the middle of your stress, your confusion, your tight deadlines or messy relationships, you are not abandoned, you are not unseen. You may feel like you're already behind. The day is already ticking, the noise already growing, but before you step into the current, I want you to hear this. God doesn't operate on your schedule. His peace is not rushed. He's not in a hurry with you. He simply wants to be invited in. And so now, in your own way, invite Him. You don't need fancy words. Just something simple, like, Lord, be my peace today. I can't do this alone. And when you say it, really say it. Don't just say it with your mouth. Say it with your shoulders that carry too much. Say it with your breath that's grown shallow. Say it with your eyes that already feel tired. Let your whole being agree with the invitation, because peace doesn't always arrive like a thunderclap. Sometimes it comes like light through the curtains. Sometimes it feels like a steady hand on your shoulder. Sometimes it sounds like a still, small voice reminding you that you don't have to fight for every inch of your life. You don't have to carry everything at once. So, before you check your phone, before you open your laptop, before the noise of the world gets loud enough to drown your center, hold on to this. Peace is not something you earn. It's a promise, and God is faithful to deliver it. Even if you've woken up with fear, even if you feel like your prayers are weak, Even if your mind is spiraling, the peace of God is not limited by your emotions. It is steady, it is strong, and it's already reaching for you. And if right now you're feeling guilty because you woke up late, or forgot to pray yesterday, or feel distant from God, I want to tell you something you may not have heard enough. God is not counting your failures. He's not looking at you with disappointment. He's not shaking his head at your weakness. He's drawing near because he knows this world is too heavy to carry alone. And he longs to share your burden. Maybe you think peace will come once you solve everything, once you feel more disciplined, more grateful, more faithful. But what if peace isn't at the finish line? What if peace is the starting place? What if the reason you're so exhausted is because you've been trying to run on empty for far too long? This morning is not asking you to prove anything. You don't need to climb any mountain of productivity or pretend you have it all together. What you need is space to let God be God again, not in theory, not in vague Sunday words, but here in your real, noisy, tired morning. If you've been clenching your teeth, bracing for impact, or waking with dread, then this is your invitation to stop bracing and start breathing. Because you don't need to protect yourself from the day when God has promised to guard your heart. You don't need to prepare for battle when God himself is offering to be your refuge. The peace he gives is not a shallow escape. It is armor. It's not just for moments of quiet retreat. It's for moments when the kids are screaming, the inbox is full, the money is short, and the pressure is high. It is peace for real life. I want you to think of your heart as a room, and maybe it's messy right now, stacks of old fears in the corners, questions scattered across the floor, anxiety dripping from the ceiling like a slow leak, but God still wants to enter. He is not waiting for you to clean up. He brings his own light. He brings his own presence. And when he walks in, even the things you thought were too broken to fix begin to feel softer, lighter, possible. You may not know how to solve everything, but you don't have to. You just have to let him be near. And he is. He's not impressed by your performance. He's moved by your honesty. So let this be the kind of morning where you don't pretend. Let this be the kind of prayer that doesn't try to sound right but simply says what's true. God, I'm tired. I need your help. I need your peace. I don't want to carry the weight of everything. I don't want to keep doing it all alone. And then pause, because prayer is not just you talking. It's also learning to listen. So after you speak your need, be still. Let his peace come in like breath into your lungs, like light into your darkness, like truth into the noise of your doubts. You are not behind. You are not too much. You are not forgotten. You are not weak for needing peace. You are created to live in it. The world may tell you to push through, hustle harder, get over it. But God says, come to me, and I will give you rest. That kind of rest is not passive. It is a brave act of trust. It is saying, even if the world expects more than I can give today, I will begin with the one who gives me what the world cannot. You don't need to carry today in your own strength. His strength is enough. So as you prepare to move through your morning, take this with you. Peace is not something you pack. It is something you walk in. You don't have to create it. You just have to stay connected to the one who offers it. He is not far. He is not silent. He is not waiting for you to reach some level of perfection before he steps in. He is already here, and he is enough. You may not notice it, but your shoulders have been tense since yesterday, maybe even longer. The tension has become part of you, like background noise you've learned to ignore. But God sees it. He sees the way you clench your jaw in traffic, the way you hold your breath while checking your bank account, the way you smile even when you feel like crying, the way your chest tightens when someone says, "Are you okay?" and you answer too quickly, "I'm fine." But here, in this quiet moment, you don't need to be fine. You don't need to be anything. You are simply invited to be. And as you are loved. This is the sacred space where your pretending can finally rest. This is where your heart can exhale. The world tells you to keep pushing, to be strong, to perform like you're not tired. But God is not interested in your mask. He wants your truth. He wants that part of you that says, "I don't have peace, but I want it." And He wants to meet you right there, not later, not after you've handled everything, but now, in your weariness. You weren't made to carry the weight of life alone. You weren't made to keep marching without stopping. You were made to breathe, to surrender, to rest in a love that never leaves. So, right now, take one gentle breath. Let it be your act of trust. Not because it changes everything, but because it opens you to the one who can. As you breathe in, invite the presence of God into your body, not just your mind or your spirit, but your actual body, the one that's been stiff with stress, the one that's been tired from lack of sleep. As you breathe out, release something you've been holding. Maybe it's the fear of not being enough. Maybe it's a deadline that feels impossible. Maybe it's a conversation you're dreading or a decision that's weighing you down. Name it, not out loud, but in your heart, and then let it go. You may not know how to fix it, but you know who to give it to. Let your breath become a rhythm of surrender. Each inhale, "Lord, I welcome you." Each exhale, "Lord, I release what is not mine to carry." The truth is, some things will not be solved today. Some situations will remain uncertain. Some answers will not come quickly. But peace is not about having everything resolved. Peace is about having someone you trust even when nothing is clear. That's what God is offering you this morning, not a perfect day, but a peaceful heart. Let Him into your to-do list. Let Him into your morning traffic. Let Him into your unread emails, your messy kitchen, your tired eyes. He doesn't want to wait outside until you feel holy enough. He wants to walk with you through it all. He wants to be the calm inside the chaos, not the removal of all tension, but the anchor that keeps you steady while the waves keep coming. And yes, they will come. There will be interruptions, unexpected news, things that don't go as planned. But if peace lives in you, you won't be undone. You may feel the waves, but you will not be swept away. So let's ask honestly right now, "Lord, what am I holding that you want to carry?" And listen not with your ears, but with your soul. Maybe He's showing you it's time to stop trying to please everyone. Maybe He's inviting you to stop obsessing over a future you can't control. Maybe He's reminding you that He's already gone ahead of you, and your job is not to know every turn, but to walk one step at a time with Him. And when you do, peace grows, not from the absence of trouble, but from the assurance of His presence. This peace is not shallow. It does not depend on how much coffee you've had, or how quiet your morning is, or whether people appreciate you today. It runs deeper than all of that. It is quiet, but it is not weak. It is fierce in its gentleness. It shields your mind from the spiral of what-ifs. It guards your heart when your emotions start to pull you in every direction. It is not afraid of your stress. It is not afraid of your chaos, because it comes from the one who is not afraid of you. So rest here a moment longer, not because you have time to waste, but because your soul cannot afford to rush. Let the peace of God fill the cracks in your thoughts. Let it mend what worry has broken. Let it flow like a river through the parts of you that have gone dry. You are not too far gone for peace. You are not too messy, too broken, too late. You are the very one He longs to bring comfort to. And when you do rise from this place, when you stand up and step into the noise again, know that peace is still with you. It will not leave you when the prayer ends. It will not vanish the moment something goes wrong. It will stay, because the one who gives it never walks away. You've been taught to believe that peace comes when things go right, when the morning flows smoothly, when the meetings are on time, when people are kind, when nothing breaks, when nothing interrupts. But what if that idea has stolen more peace than it has given? What if real peace doesn't wait for the right conditions, but enters despite them? What if peace doesn't come after the day goes perfectly, but before the day even begins? You are stepping into a world today that will test your patience. There will be traffic. There will be emails you don't want to answer. There will be words that sting and people who misunderstand you. And if you wait for everything to line up just right before you allow yourself to feel peace, you may never feel it at all. But there is another way, a better way, the way of Christ. He never promised a life without chaos. He promised presence, and presence changes everything. So I want you to choose something radical this morning. I want you to release your grip on the idea that this day has to be perfect. Let go of the fear that everything depends on you getting it all right. That pressure is not from God. That voice that says, "You must hold everything together," is not His. The peace of God is not earned by performance. It is received in surrender. It doesn't wait for the conditions around you to settle. It begins when the soul within you yields. Right now, maybe your mind is running through a checklist of things to do, people to please, results to deliver, and I'm not here to tell you those things don't matter, but I am here to tell you they don't define your peace. You can carry responsibility without carrying the weight of anxiety. You can care deeply without being crushed by pressure. You can be busy without being buried. The difference is not what the day demands, it's how you walk through it. And you don't have to walk alone. The peace of God is not a feeling you chase, it is a person who walks with you. His name is Jesus, and He doesn't abandon you in the middle of tension. He meets you there. He walks beside you when the plan changes, when the traffic makes you late, when the words don't come out right. He does not demand a flawless performance. He desires a faithful heart. So take that deep breath again, not as a technique, but as a reminder, you are not the manager of the universe. You are not the savior of your family. You are not responsible for the moods of everyone around you. You are a child of God, deeply loved, constantly held, and invited into peace that does not depend on perfection. Let that settle in your bones. Maybe today won't look how you imagined. Maybe something unexpected will change the flow of your plan. But that doesn't mean the day is ruined. It means the day is real. And God lives in what's real. not just in the polished parts, not just in the Instagram moments, but in the spilled coffee, the forgotten keys, the awkward silence, the lonely lunch break. He is there, offering peace like a gentle hand on your shoulder, like a whisper through the noise. You're okay. I'm with you. And when things go wrong, and they will, you don't have to spiral. You can return to peace, because peace is not the absence of mistakes. It is the presence of God in the middle of them. When the meeting runs late, when the child throws a tantrum, when the call doesn't go well, you don't have to lose your center. You can choose, in that very moment, to pause inwardly and say, "Lord, I invite your peace right now," and He will answer. He may not change the circumstance immediately, but He will steady you inside it, and that's where real peace lives. In the quiet, unwavering confidence that no matter how the day unfolds, you are not alone, not unloved, not unsupported, you are carried. So stop trying to choreograph a flawless day. Instead, ask for eyes that see where God is moving, even in the mess. Ask for ears that can hear His voice above the noise. Ask for a heart that stays open, even when things feel inconvenient. Ask for peace that can breathe in the tension, not just wait for it to end. This is your invitation, to walk into this day not with fear, not with pressure, not with the need to perform, but with the simple, steady assurance that God is going with you. And because He goes with you, peace is not a maybe, it is a promise. So even when the unexpected happens today, and you know it will, even when someone says something that throws you off, even when the plans shift and the timing fails and the people around you don't respond with kindness or grace, you still have a choice. You can either react from your fear or respond from your peace. And that response doesn't come from willpower alone. It comes from a deep place of abiding. It comes from having met with God in the quiet before the storm. It comes from letting Him speak before the noise of the world does. And you're doing that now. You're setting the tone for your day not by controlling it, but by surrendering it. That's not weakness, that's wisdom. You might be tempted to think that peace is too fragile to last through a hectic day. But the truth is, the peace of God isn't breakable. It doesn't get crushed by pressure. It doesn't melt under deadlines. It is not seasonal, not situational. It's a peace born of eternity, anchored in a Savior who never changes and never leaves. It is tougher than stress and gentler than striving. It's what carries you through moments when everything around you is demanding more than you have to give. And somehow, in those moments, you find that you are not running on empty, because peace is filling the space that anxiety used to take up. So when you catch yourself rushing today, when you feel your breath becoming short and your mind spinning faster than your body can follow, stop for just 1 second, one quiet second, and remember, the day doesn't have to be easy to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be quiet to be sacred. It doesn't have to go to plan to be led by God. Some of your most peaceful moments will come not when everything is calm, but when everything is chaotic, and yet you remain centered because you know who you belong to. You know who's holding your hand, and you trust that He is not just near, He is actively working for your good. There is no such thing as a wasted day in the hands of God. There is no such thing as a ruined morning when peace is your compass. Every moment you return to Him is a moment redeemed. Every time you choose calm over control, prayer over panic, surrender over striving. You're being transformed. And that quiet transformation becomes your strength. Not flashy, not loud, but deep and lasting and real. So no, today doesn't need to be perfect. You don't need to impress anyone. You don't need to win every battle. You simply need to stay close to the one who loves you. And let that love quiet your fear, soothe your mind, and shape the way you walk into every room. When people encounter you today, let them encounter peace, not because you have it all together, but because you've chosen to walk with the one who holds it all. That's what changes the atmosphere. That's what brings light into tense spaces. That's what turns a normal day into something holy. And if you forget halfway through the day, if you lose your patience, lose your center, or lose your cool, it's okay. Peace doesn't disappear just because you do. You can return to it again and again and again. God is not counting how many times you mess up. He's just asking, will you let me be your peace now? And the answer can always be yes. So go ahead, step into the day, not with the burden to make everything flawless, but with the joy of knowing you don't walk into it alone. You walk with the one who holds your heart, and that's enough, more than enough. That's peace. Some days begin with calm but quickly unravel. The smallest things turn into battles. A forgotten key, a short reply, a sudden change of plan. And before you know it, peace feels like something you lost hours ago. But what if you didn't lose it? What if it's still there, waiting just beneath the surface of your stress, waiting for you to return, not through effort, but through awareness? God's peace doesn't abandon you when your day gets messy. It's not frightened by noise, not weakened by conflict, not pushed away by emotion. It's not a delicate feeling that vanishes the moment you're interrupted. It's a shield, a guard, and Philippians chapter 4 verse 7 promises that it will protect your heart and your mind. But you have to let it. Letting peace guard your heart doesn't mean pretending that nothing hurts. It doesn't mean ignoring frustration or swallowing your voice. It means allowing God to stand between your spirit and the chaos outside you. It means choosing not to let every irritation become a storm inside you. When someone says something unkind today, you can pause and whisper, "Lord, guard my heart." When plans fall apart and you feel anger rise, you can stop for one breath and say, "Lord, be my peace." This is how peace becomes your strength, not by removing all difficulty, but by shaping how you respond to it. And I know some moments will feel too fast, too sharp, too real. The clash of personalities, the passive-aggressive email, the traffic jam that makes you late to something important. You might feel your pulse speed up, your thoughts grow louder, your patience wearing thin. But that's exactly when peace wants to step in. Not when everything is fixed, but when your reaction is still forming. That split second before you speak, before you react, before you spiral. That is the space where peace can guard you. But only if you let it. So today, I want you to ask this simple question in every moment of tension. What would peace do right now? Would it rush to defend itself? Would it retaliate to prove a point? Or would it remain steady, kind, slow to speak, quick to listen? Peace doesn't mean being passive. It means being rooted. It means choosing stability over reactivity. It means trusting that God will handle what you don't have to control. There will be moments today when you feel misunderstood, There will be moments when you feel invisible, maybe even disrespected, but your worth is not up for debate, and your value doesn't shrink in conflict. You don't need to fight to be seen. You're already seen, and God is still there, guarding your heart when your name isn't mentioned, when your work isn't noticed, when your effort feels dismissed. In those moments, your heart will want to harden, but let peace keep it soft. Let peace remind you who you are. You are not your mistake. You are not your worst moment. You are not your last conversation. You are a child of God, deeply known, deeply loved, and fiercely protected by a peace that doesn't quit when things get uncomfortable. And yes, some people will still push your limits. Some situations will still frustrate you. But instead of carrying that irritation in your chest all day, give it somewhere to go. Turn it into a prayer, not a long, complicated one, just one honest line. God, this is too much. Please help. That is how peace becomes your reflex. That is how you stay soft in a sharp world. Peace is not the absence of noise. It's the refusal to let the noise become you. It's remembering that you are not responsible for the emotional climate of every room. You are not the fixer of every broken mood. You are not the hero in every misunderstanding. You are simply a vessel of grace. And sometimes, grace looks like taking a deep breath instead of a harsh word. Sometimes, it looks like walking away quietly instead of engaging in a fight you don't need to win. And sometimes, it looks like staying gentle when everything around you is rough. Today, there may be chaos around you, but there does not have to be chaos within you. You get to decide what enters your heart. You get to decide who lives in your thoughts. And if you choose to let peace stay close, to let Christ be your steady center, you will walk through this day differently. You will speak slower, breathe deeper, love better, not because the world made it easy, but because God made it possible. So right now, before the rush of everything else, declare this quietly to your soul. I will not let this day decide who I am. I will not let this moment define my peace. I will not let outside voices drown the voice of truth. I belong to God, and He is guarding me. Not just my body, but my heart. Not just my thoughts, but my identity. I don't have to be in control to be secure. I just have to stay close to the one who already is. Let peace stand at the gate of your heart today. Let it be the filter through which everything passes. Let it decide what stays and what leaves. And trust that when you do, no matter how loud or uncertain or messy the day becomes, you will remain rooted, calm, centered, whole. That is the power of God's peace, and it is yours today. Now that you've sat in the stillness, now that your soul has had space to breathe, now that you've offered your fear and your tension and your hope to the one who sees it all, I want you to carry something with you, not loud ambition, not a list of spiritual goals, not a pressure to stay calm every second, but a quiet confidence. The kind that doesn't demand attention, the kind that doesn't shout or rush, the kind that comes from knowing you've already given your day to God and He hasn't looked away. This confidence isn't flashy. It's not about pretending you've got it all together. It's about walking forward with a soul that remembers you're not walking alone. Confidence rooted in peace looks different from the world's version of strength. It doesn't need to compete. It doesn't need to prove. It doesn't need to compare. It simply knows, I am loved, I am guided, I am protected, and even if the day ahead feels uncertain or unfinished or overwhelming, it is not bigger than the one who holds it. So you rise, not because everything is solved, but because your soul has been steadied. You show up, not to fix the world, but to reflect the one who gives you peace within it. You respond, not with anxiety, but with gentleness. You listen, not to every voice, but to the quiet one that says, I've got you. And yes, there will be moments today when this peace will feel distant again. That's normal, that's human, but now you know the way back. It's not through effort, it's through presence. It's through one whispered line of surrender, one breath of invitation, one gentle turning back to the God who never leaves. He isn't asking for performance today. He's asking for connection. And the more often you return to that connection, the more deeply this quiet confidence will grow, not in your mood, not in your energy level, but in your spirit. Let this morning become the foundation of how you move, not rushed, but rooted, not fearful, but focused, not trying to control, but choosing to trust. Let the peace of God shape your pace. Let it soften your speech. Let it guard your reactions. Let it guide your next step, not with frantic worry, but with calm faith. And when you enter each moment with that kind of peace, you carry something holy into ordinary places. A grocery line becomes a sacred space. A difficult meeting becomes a moment of grace. A lonely hour becomes a quiet invitation to sit with the God who sees you. This is how peace becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a way of living. So as you rise now, as your body prepares to move, as the noise outside your window begins to grow louder, remind yourself one last time, you are not late, you are not behind, you are not forgotten. You are exactly where you need to be, in the care of a God who already knows what this day will bring and who has promised to walk with you through every minute of it. You don't have to figure it all out. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to perform. You just have to trust, and that trust will carry you farther than fear ever could. This peace, this sacred, quiet, steady peace, it belongs to you because you belong to Him. And that is enough. That is always enough. So go forward now, not with pressure in your chest, but with a lightness in your step. Go not to rush, but to be present. Go not to control, but to cooperate with grace. Go not to prove anything, but to reflect the one who has already given you everything you need. Go in peace, walk in peace, carry peace, and let peace carry you. Let us end our morning prayer here. I pray that your day will be filled with peace and overflowing with God's grace. May you entrust your journey to the Lord, trusting that He will lead you every step of the way. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can continue sharing these morning prayers together. Thank you, and see you next time.